So the Snippet series is generously sponsored by the Saka family, sponsored as well by Yelad and Avram Foreman. We're on the 16th bracha of the Amida, the bracha of Shema, Koleinu, Hashem Elokeinu. This bracha, we've gave a long introduction of Yonasan Eibshitz and his Yaros Dvash, the significance, how special this bracha is, how important it is to concentrate. In fact, it's quoted the Kuntres Avodas HaTfilah from the father of the Shlah HaKadosh, that the bracha of Shema Koleinu should have a increase, a burst of kavana. Why? Because it is the conclusion of all of Bakasha. So if we've been using the Bakasha, the request, the supplication, the middle section of the Amida, in order to calibrate what we need, in order to be focused, our heart and mind before Hashem, Shema Koleinu, which is the culmination, the climax, this should carry the cumulative, all of the kavana that came before, and therefore it's a very, very holy bracha. You see that also from how many names of Hashem are used in this bracha. At least 5 different names are used. Hashem, Elokeinu, Kel, Ata, Malkeinu. And in Nusach Sfard, there are 7 names. In addition to the 5, there are 2 more. What are they? I'm asking a bunch of Ashkenazim. What are they? Av and Harachaman. Av and Harachaman are 2 more names or 2 more descriptions of Hashem. All of this reflects how special this bracha is. The question is, why do we begin the words Shema Koleinu? Why don't we start? Let's get right to the good stuff. Let's get right to why we're here. Chus v'rachem aleinu. Have pity, have compassion, and listen to everything we're asking, and answer us favorably. So let's skip the opening, Shema Koleinu. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty. Let's start and launch from Chus v'rachem aleinu. After all, that's what it's really all about. So Yitzchak Blaza, the great Baal Musar, in his Kochvei Or, he says the following mashal. He says the son of the king was alienated, distanced, was lost, left the palace, left the king's house, and he got lost on the way, and he was lost for a significant amount of time. And it took a long time for him to make his way back to the palace, to the home of his father, the king. And when he arrives, the guards outside the gate don't recognize him. They have no idea who he is. He doesn't know the code. It's not written there even in the Hebrew, Namanek, hint. The security was strict. They couldn't hang it on there. So he couldn't let himself in. There was no guard who recognized him. He was stuck and he was lost. And such a son, such a prince, what does he do? He starts to scream, Abba! He starts to call his father, the king. And he thinks, I made my way all the way back. True, I was far away. And now that I'm here, I can't get in. I'll raise my voice. My father will recognize my voice. And my voice will be the password. My voice will be the code. My voice will be what gives me entrance, gives me access. My voice will let me in. Says the Koch Ve'or, we are distanced from our father and we lose our way. And even when it's Elul, we're on Erev Slichos, we're determined we're going to make our way back, we're going to make our way home. And now we get there, we don't know the password, we don't know the code. We've strayed so far, we're unrecognizable. So what do? How do we make our presence known? We lift our voices and we scream out. So what is the call? The call, the voice, is our authentic self, our truest self, our pure and innocent self. It's Elokai Neshama Shenasata be self. So Hashem, I'm about to come at you. I just listed all these things I'm asking for your help with. Shema Koleinu, the generic, I'm about to insert all these other things as we've spoken about the last few days. I'm going to look at my agenda, my itinerary, my calendar. What do I need your help with now? Maybe you don't recognize me. And maybe I can't get through. And maybe I have no access. Maybe I'm too far. So Shema Koleinu. Hashem, just listen to my voice. I'm your son. Recognize my voice. I'm your son. I'm your daughter. And through my voice, that should be enough to open the door, to let me in, and to let me have access and start again. This Nusach Shema Koleinu is reminiscent. This is, in fact, how we got out of Mitzrayim. It's how we got out of Egypt. The pasuk says that when we were in Egypt, why did Hashem take us out? How did Hashem take us out? Vayishma Hashem es Koleinu. Hashem heard our voice. Not as tfilaseinu. He didn't hear our prayers. He didn't hear the words. It wasn't what we articulated. It was our kol. It was that kol. The truth is, in many ways, this is the shofar. Soloveitchik had a whole insight that the shofar is really an expression of tefillah. It's a form of a prayer, but without words. It represents the groan, the cry, the inner yearning, the longing. Sometimes there's a feeling that we can't even put into words. Words would, in fact, cheapen it. It's something that's just comes from the essence of our being. So that sound of the shofar, the kol shofar, what we call it, the kol shofar, is produced, the Sfas Emes says, the kol shofar is produced from the breath that's deep inside us. I happen to be a Baal Tokeya. If you try to blow the shofar superficially, you won't get very far. You have to draw from the breath that's deep inside you. And says the Sfas Emes, we are affirming, Ribonu Shalom vayipach be'apav nishmas chayim. When you created the world, you breathed life into me, you put a piece of yourself in me, achelek elokah mima'al mamash in me. I am affirming that original breath, that innocence, that purity, that piece of you, Hashem, it's still inside me. And the kol shofar, the piercing sound of the shofar, is our testament, our affirmation, Hashem, that innocent, pure, original breath that you put in me, it's still here. I'm using it to produce the sound of the shofar. And that's an image that we could use for the beginning of this bracha. Shema Koleinu, not tfilaseinu. Shema Koleinu, not diborenu. Our kol, this kol, just like Vayishma Hashem es Koleinu, it got us out of Egypt. Whatever it is that we need, that we're about to ask for in Shema Koleinu, parnasa, health, marriage, children, grandchildren, whatever, help with the Shabbos Shuvah Drasha, whatever it is that we need, whatever we're going to put in Shema Koleinu, it's our kol. Hashem, it's coming from the most authentic place in me. It's coming from the true self in me. It's coming from the part of me that's still you, and I'm asking you to let me in to hear it, even if I'm unworthy. That's why it's the introduction. We don't just start chus v'rach, have pity and give me everything I need. Why should he have pity? You know why? Because you recognize my voice. And how do you recognize your voice? Because I'm your son. You're the king, and I'm your child. I'm screaming so that you hear my voice, and you'll tell the guard, let me in, so then I can present what it is that I need.